This is the Australian stock market closing report for Monday the 2nd of May 2016. The market opened with a violent move to the downside following Westpac's announcement regarding the doubling of bad debt. Sentiment was dampened into the lunchtime turning point when the market significantly retraced 90% of the morning losses to close down only 9 points or 0.2% to 5,243 when it had been down as much as 70 points in the morning session. The day's trading range was 70 points, with the high of the session at 5,252 and the low of the session at 5,182. Market breadth was positive, with 121 advancing stocks versus 70 stocks declining and 9 stocks unchanged. The strongest sector in today's session was the telecommunication sector, higher by 2.8%. TPG Telecom closed up 3.45%, Vocus was higher by 2.9%, Telstra Corporation was higher by 2.7%. The gold and metal miners were strong in today's session, with the sector closing up 2%. Alacer Gold Corp was higher by 8.2%, Alumina was higher by 2.7%, and Beadell Resources was up 3.2%. The materials sector also demonstrated relative strength, closing up 1.35%, with multiple components making up the top 5 best performers of the session. Northern Star Resources was up 5.2%, Independence Group was up 4.9%, and Oz Minerals was higher by 4.8%. The resource bellwethers BHP and Rio Tinto were both higher, with BHP Billiton up 1.14%, closing at $20.91, and Rio Tinto was higher by 1.7%, closing at $52.42. Sentiment in the financial sector was dampened today after Westpac disappointed investors with the cost of bad loans doubling in the 6 months to March 31. The financial sector closed lower by 1.6%. The big 4 banks all closed in negative territory, with ANZ Bank closing down 2.2%, Commonwealth Bank closing down 2.1%, National Australia Bank closing down 2.1%, and Westpac closing lower by 3.5%. In economic news, according to figures in National Australia Bank's business survey released today, business conditions remained well above average levels. However, both business confidence and conditions slid in April. The report said service industries remained the best performers in April, as the benefits of lower oil prices and falls in the Australian dollar continue to flow through. Solid results for manufacturing and transport, as well as a bounce back in retail, are all reassuring. The National Australia Bank said, quote, March quarter core inflation hit the lowest level since the RBA began inflation targeting and is likely to undershoot in the near term. The RBA has scope to further cement the non-mining recovery with an additional cut to the cash rate at tomorrow's meeting, although it is likely to be a close call. Treasurer Scott Morrison, speaking at Queanbeyan today, has confirmed there will be tax cuts for business in today's budget, and that the budget will be legislated in the usual way, and that the tax cuts will not be fast-tracked to be in place before an expected July the 2nd election. The 5 most active stocks in today's session were Alumina up 2.7%, Telstra higher by 2.7%, Evolution Mining up 9.7%, South 32 down 1.2%, and Beach Energy higher by 4.7%. The 5 best performers were Evolution Mining up 9.7%, Western Areas up 6%, St Barbara higher by 5.6%, Southern Cross Media higher by 5.6%, and Sky City Entertainment up 5.2%. The 5 worst performers were Tabcorp Holdings down 4.3%, Aconex lower by 3.9%, Westpac Bank down 3.6%, Austral down 2.9%, and Bendigo and Adelaide Bank down 2.5%. $1 Australian dollar is currently flat on the session, buying 76.10 US cents. Spot gold is higher by 0.4% or $5 to $1,295 US dollars. Crude oil is currently down on the session 33 cents or 0.7% to 45.59 US dollars. This has been the Australian Stock Market Closing Report for Monday the 2nd of May 2016, and I've been your host, Aaron First. I'll see you again.